All right, hey, it's Rob, and I am testing out the Rode Go 2 wireless setup here with my Insta 361 X2 camera on about a 4-foot selfie stick. Makes it look like you got a drone flying over your head and that you're 20 feet up in the air. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so while I'm testing this out, I thought I would talk about a subject that I've always found interesting, which is the fact that there are no pictures of Neil Armstrong on the moon. Now, you may think you've seen him, and there are some video stills from a camera that was attached to the side of the lunar module, but no actual still photos were taken. Let's say no decent still photos were taken of Neil Armstrong. There may have been some where he was way in the background or something or other, but no portraits, nothing to commemorate the first man who ever walked on the moon. And here's the reason. Buzz Aldrin certainly wanted to be the first man to walk on the moon, but NASA had other thoughts. They just felt like he was not the right guy for the job. He knew lots about rendezvous in space between spaceships and technical things, but they just felt that overall Neil Armstrong was the better choice for the first man to step on the moon. And even Neil didn't know what he was going to say until soon before they landed. And of course, we all know he didn't even say it right, because he said it's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, which is the same thing. He forgot the A. For years they were saying it just got lost in transmission or whatever, but we're pretty sure that he just forgot the A, which is okay considering that he had to land the lunar module manually on the moon and fly over a crater and do the most amazing, feat of engineering and of flying skill that has ever been demonstrated here or on any other planet. Anyway, so Buzz certainly wanted to be first, but the reason they gave him was that because of the position of his seat, Buzz would have to climb over Neil to get out of the lunar module. They didn't think that was very becoming. So simply they gave the reason that since Neil Armstrong was the closest to the door, he would go first. Of course, Buzz was not happy about this at all. Now, they all had a list of tasks that they had to do when they were on the moon. You can see the iconic photo of Buzz standing on the moon with his space helmet, looking at his arm. Well, that's where they had the tasks written out. Told them what to do, when to do it, how long it should take, etc. Now, technically, there was no task that said, take the camera, point it at Neil Armstrong. He's the first man to ever walk on the moon. Take his picture. So, Buzz's default position is, since it was not on the list, he didn't do it. Now, certainly he could have done it. Certainly he could have said, look, we need to capture this moment for history. Stand here, I'll take your picture. It didn't happen. It was on Neil's list, or if nothing else, Neil decided it was important enough to do. So you see the picture of Buzz standing on the moon, looking at his arm, looking at his list. And the only real decent picture we get of Neil Armstrong on the moon is in that same picture. You look in the visor of Buzz Aldrin's helmet, and there you can see the reflection of Neil Armstrong. Now, some people think Buzz did it on purpose. Some people think he was jealous and trying to get back at Neil Armstrong for being the first man on the moon by not taking his picture and capturing it for all of posterity. And some people, like I said, and he himself would say, well, they never asked me to do it, so I just never did it. And there we are. That is pretty much the story of why there are no pictures of Neil Armstrong on the moon. Most people think they're looking at him, but they're really looking at Buzz. And if nothing else, this is kind of Buzz's small way of getting revenge by being the guy that we look at when we are seeing, MTV or the millions of other places we've seen that iconic photo of Buzz Aldrin standing on the moon looking at his arm. And now you know why. All right. Well, I'm headed home. Just checking out the functionality here of my wireless mic attached to my Insta360 X1, X2, whatever it's called. It's got a lot of numbers and names, and I never remember what the hell it's called. Insta360 One X2 camera. Only shooting in 150-degree mode right now. When you attach all this stuff to the camera, by the way, you do see it. You've got a extra little attachment out the side for the 3.5 jack. And of course you have the wireless receiver attached to the bottom. So if you zoom all the way out, you will see it in your photos. All right, that's about it. I'm back home. Until next time, America.